Hello everybody out there YouTube land, Ed here, ELH Scale Model Garage, and it is time for my September 15th, 2024 model cars and coffee. Now, I missed last week for a variety of reasons, and I hope y'all forgive me for that, but you know, life kind of gets in the way sometimes and can't always do what you want to do. So, and in this model car and coffee, I'm going to talk about all the various options and possibilities that you can do with a kit. Now, I am going to be, the kit I'm going to be referencing in specific for this one is the kit that was chosen for the USAC group build. This is not my intro for that group build. That will be a different video. So, when it comes to building models, you know, it's my opinion that there are a lot of people that haven't built models in the past, and they'd maybe like to get into it, but when they start coming here onto YouTube and doing some research on building this kit, building that kit, whatever, you know, and then they start seeing all the various options and possibilities of what they can do, and they get overwhelmed. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, whoa, wait a minute, too many choices. What am I gonna do? So, you know, I mean, point in case, the kit that was chosen for USAC, the Revell Special Edition 68 Dodge Dart Hemi, it's a 2-in-1 kit. You can build this kit with parts that come in the box as either a stock 1968 Dodge Dart with the 440, or you could build it as a drag race version with the 426 Hemi, which Chrysler did build this car from the factory with the Hemi, but they did not intend the Hemi version to be used for general highway use, as they called it. It was meant to be specifically a racetrack only vehicle. And the neat thing about a 2-in-1 kit like this, you can build it out of the box with just the stock parts. You can build it out of the box with just the drag race parts, or you can build any combination thereof. You can use some of the stock parts, some of the drag race parts, and just kind of build a customized version of an amalgamation of both. And then you start getting into the possibility of utilizing aftermarket parts, 3D printed resin parts, photo etch, various wires and whatnot for the spark plug wires and the heater hoses and the brake lines and all of that kind of detailing type stuff. And then there's the painting possibilities. You've got testers, you've got Tamiya, you've got Umbral, you've got Rust-Oleum, Krylon, Mr. Hobby, 2 different versions of. You've got Revell paints, you've got Vallejo paints, you've got AK paints, you know, all these various brands. And then beyond that, are you going to do acrylic? Are you going to do lacquer? Are you going to do 2K? Are you going to do enamel? And then all the various colors, you know. And that's just to name a few, as far as for the brands and stuff like that. So it can get very overwhelming. Also on paints, do you hand paint with a paintbrush? Do you spray paint with, I know I've got one sitting around here somewhere, Here we go. Do you spray paint with a rattle can? Do you airbrush? And obviously, this is just 3 of the brushes I use for hand painting. Obviously, I have rattle cans, and I have airbrushes. So I do a little bit of each on the painting. Sometimes I hand brush, sometimes I rattle can, sometimes I airbrush. Just depends on what I'm doing and what kind of a look I'm wanting to get. And so, and then there's doing weathering effects. There's, do you want to do it as a rusted up, weathered up, beat up beater? Do you want to do it as a perfectly, completely fresh off the showroom floor, shiny show car, you know, somewhere in between? There's just so many options out there that even for an experienced builder like myself can start to get a little bit overwhelming and be like, ooh, wow, options, options, options. What do I do? And for the new folk that are looking to get into the hobby and build their first ever kit, it can definitely get overwhelming, and they're like, oh well, this is just too involved. There's no way, and so they don't get into it. And I think maybe those of us that are more experienced, we should maybe maybe get a video series started where we do a beginners, you know, take something that's of a lower skill level, like this particular Dodge Dart for the USAC. It's a skill level 5. So, you know, maybe take a kit that's a skill level 2 and build it just straight out of the box stock, and just show the people that are wanting to get into the hobby but are maybe getting a little frustrated and or overwhelmed with it, with all the various choices. Hold on a second, coffee break. That you don't have to start out getting all the 3D print resins and all the wires and everything to be able to build a great looking model. And in that video series, maybe explain that you really shouldn't start out trying to go buck wild, full on, putting lit up headlights and tail lights and putting your spark plug wires in and your heater hoses and all this extra super detailing stuff that a lot of us experienced modelers like to do. And I'm not saying there aren't videos out there on YouTube like that. There are. I've seen them. I've watched them. I've gotten some good information out of them, even as an experienced builder. So, you know, but I think maybe we owe it, those of us who are more experienced with this hobby, I think maybe we owe it to those that are looking to just start getting into it to do these more basic kind of how to get into it, how to get started, and how to build great looking models without doing all that extra, just so that we can expand the hobby, so that we can extend the hobby. And that's definitely something I'm going to be doing. And I mean, you know, yeah, I like doing super detailed stuff. This is my Kenworth chassis that I've been working on for a minute. I've got all my airlines and whatnot set up in it, And yeah, I'm doing that as a very super detailed kit with just all sorts of stuff that doesn't normally come in the kit. When I do my USAC build, it's gonna get spark plug wires, it's gonna get heater hoses, and just all sorts of stuff. My BG appreciation build that I've got sitting right here in front of me, it's gonna get super detailed with brake lines and heater hoses and all this. So, but I will be doing a video here in this fairly near future on just a skill level 2 kit, and I'm gonna build it just straight up box stock out of the box. I'm not gonna be adding anything to it. I'm not gonna be cutting on it. I'm not gonna be changing out wheels and tires or anything like that. It's literally going to be a box stock build. And I'm going to use that as a means to show people that are just trying to get into the hobby that you can build a kit just straight up out of the box and have it look amazing. So that's basically all I really got to say on that. So, you know, whatever time of day it is when you see this, more coffee. Whether it's morning, afternoon, early evening, late evening, middle of the night, whatever, doesn't matter. Have a great one, and until next time, I'll be in the garage.